Okay. We'll have to restart.
Begin. Welcome to Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. When addressing the Special Magistrate, please state your name, your address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you are planning to speak during this hearing, you must sign the speakers list located at the front door for the record. Presentations by the county, response and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. The Special Magistrate may recess at 12:30 p.m. and reconvene at 1:30 p.m. to conclude business if that is necessary. The basic process for this hearing is as follows. Number one, your case will be announced. Number two, Ms. Rodriguez will conduct the oath of witness. Three, staff will present their evidence on your case. Four, you will be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what has occurred. Five, I will close the hearing and announce a decision. All decisions are based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history. I may ask questions and allow other witnesses' testimony if necessary. If I issue an order for compliance, it is your responsibility to notify the code enforcement officer on or before the date ordered to demonstrate that the violations have been corrected. Depending on my order, the code enforcement staff may later have to conduct an inspection to see if you haven't complied with the order. If the staff believes that you have not complied, you will receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice. Otherwise, it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions, these rules are outlined by Hillsborough County Code of Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. Any person who decides to appeal a decision of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate will need a record of the proceedings. The record is comprised of the testimony and evidence upon which an appeal is based. It is again your responsibility to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceeding is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of the order to appeal the special magistrate's decision in circuit court. And before we begin, please silence all phones and pagers. First case.
Will all county staff please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. First case is item 2 on the agenda on page 1, case number CE 21009281, Tanya F. Scott, and we have service. And someone is here virtually. Can I see Ms. Scott?
You see me?
Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Tanya Scott, 16147 Sandcrest Way, Tampa, Florida, 33618.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning, Ray Garcia, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The property in question is at 16147 Sandcrest Way, Tampa, Florida, 33618. It's owned by Tanya Scott. The property is not in foreclosure. The property was first inspected on July 1st, 2021. This property has been the subject of numerous complaints dating back to 2006, similar complaints of accumulations regarding metal, junk, and other accumulations in the front yard. During the inspection in July, they were cited for accumulations and for a commercial vehicle. The accumulations were complied on March 30th, 2022. Commercial vehicle was complied on 12/28/2021. Due to the repeated complaints, I'm requesting a remain in compliance order.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Scott?
Hello. Good morning. First of all, I would like to say that when he brought up the picture about the box truck, it was compliant way before 12 whatever day he said it was. We spoke to my husband spoke to Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia explained that he got a customer's complaint or a neighbor's complaint saying that the box trucks was back. And my husband asked him, did he see the box truck? And he said, no, he has to follow what the neighbors say. And I've also asked for the neighbors' complaints within the neighborhood, and I haven't received those yet. I asked Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia said I have to go through a public request to receive the complaints. But my property has been in compliant way before December 28th. So, and we do, just so you know, when we bought the box truck, the only reason the box truck came home because we had to register it and get our tags. And as soon as we got the registration, it was on the weekend. As soon as we got the registration and the tags, it was taken off our property and stored at Circle K up the street. We have a relationship with the manager. The manager let us store the box truck then. As far as the accumulation, there has not been any accumulation on my property since we remove everything he has asked us to do. We have even went to the extent to ask Mr. Garcia, can you please come when somebody is there, because I'm a nurse and my husband, he runs the small business, and he said he will try to. So we've complied. I mean, and I just would like, if he does get any complaints or in the future, I mean, just communicate with us. Don't just, like, I work 16 hours a day sometimes, and I have to send an email. Just communicate, or can you come with and show us like this isn't compliant? Because one day he cited us because there were 2 trailers in the yard. I didn't know we wasn't supposed to have 2 trailers. I mean, we removed it immediately. Some things you don't know as a homeowner, that this is not, you can't do this. So, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Ma'am, how long have you owned this property?
Since 2000, I really can't remember when I bought my home. 2009, maybe 2009.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Garcia, has she, when you've communicated with them, have they taken care of the issues?
The whole issue is that her husband does scrapping for money. So what he does is he brings the items in the trailers. There have been times, there have been numerous trailers, or at least 2 trailers on the property filled with junk. He takes the items out, I guess calls through them what he's going to take, what he's not going to take. And then after a time, those items are cleared out, and then shortly thereafter, or sometime in the future, more items will be brought back. They're well aware of what the issue is. I explained it to her husband, particularly the trailer issue, particularly the junk issue. And like I said, they usually comply, and they go right back to having stuff piled in the front yard. I must say that during my last visit, the property looks very nice and well kept. They've done a really good job of cleaning things up. There's not stuff laying around like there was in the past, as depicted in the pictures. I commend them for that. However, as far as communicating with them, I felt the best course of action is communicating with them via email because of previous confrontational issues regarding accusations that I trespassed on their property to look in their backyard, which I didn't in previous cases. So I think the email was the most civil way to communicate and impart. They're well aware of what the violations are and what they're allowed to do and not to do, because it was explained to them on previous cases.
Okay, but substantially now the property is in compliance, correct?
Yes, it's in compliance. All I'm asking for is not to continue that.
And ma'am, it's correct that you understand the issues with the scrapping and all. And again, I don't have any knowledge of it. I'm just.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then based on that, I am not going to issue the order. If this comes up again, we can revisit, but I think from the standpoint that if the violation is taken care of and there's communication going on, it's not going to be a repeat, then I see no reason to have the order in compliance.
So
That's my order.
Prior to ordering that, I would, like I said, bring to your attention. I had it set for a hearing previously and I pulled the case because they complied. The issue is they comply for a period of time and then it occurs again. So this is not an issue where this may or may not leave it just by telling them, hey, you know what's right and what's wrong. I think a remain compliance order is totally.
Sir, I've never received a notice to go to
Okay.
hearing.
My decision is based on the evidence and based on the testimony that she provided. I'm not going to issue the order. If it comes up again, we can revisit that. But at that point, that's my ruling. Next case, please.
Thank you.
Are you dismissing this case?
Yes, I'm dismissing this case. Next case.
Next case is on page 2, item 3, case number CE 21007584, Aris Saleli. And we have service. Someone present? Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name. Turn the mic on.
My name is Aris Chaleli. I live on 4636 West Kensington Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33629.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
I am Code Officer Sarah Franco with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The property in question is located at 14822 Oak Vine Drive, Lutz, Florida, 33559, and owned by Aris Saleli. The property is not currently occupied. It's not in foreclosure. The property was first inspected June 2nd, 2021. This is the second case investigated by Code Enforcement in the last 5 years. There have been 9 site visits conducted on the property and 1 violation out of the original 4 still remain. The final violation which remains present is pool sanitation. There has been good progress in regards to trying to get the pool cleared up, and the property owner has recently replaced the pool pump. During the multiple inspections I conducted, I was able to speak to the property owner on each occasion. The last 2 site visits I conducted, he was in fact present on the property making the necessary repairs needed to bring the case into compliance. I conducted my final inspection on April 12th, 2022, and photographs were taken at the time for this hearing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the only remaining issue, I believe, is the pool. The front of the house and the back of the house is all cleared, and there was some little debris on the back, which is being removed today. I had to get like 3 fill pumps, and the last one is working, so it's in the process of clearing the pool. So I expect that to be cleared within a couple of days.
You understand the reason for the pool being clear is so that if a child would get in there,
Yes.
they couldn't be found. I mean, I'm a lifeguard, so it's very important.
Yeah.
You see the bottom.
Yeah, I understand.
Just stand by. How long do you think, sir, it would take to get this taken care of?
I just, anytime you give me will be fine. I'm asking at least 2 weeks. I'm not a pool expert, so I'm doing my best to clear the pool.
Okay. It's 2 weeks. It's the way I'm looking at it right now. You can fairly see the butt. It's getting better.
It is getting better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm ready to make my ruling. I rule in case number CE 21007584 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's assessed presentation further based on the gravity of the violation action taken by its history. I grant 14 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by a day, a fine of $50 per day be assessed. That's my ruling.
Okay, thank you.
So what you'll need to do is once that is taken care of, you need to contact her so she can inspect it. Otherwise, if you don't contact her, the fines will start.
Okay, thank you.
Next case.
Next case is item 4, case number CE 21007436. Wesley Magras and Mineral Mechanics Incorporated. And we have service. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Lee Mcbride. The address is 12911 Tarpon Springs Road, Odessa.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Favors, go ahead.
Steve Favors, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case located at 12911 Tarpon Springs Road, Odessa, Florida 33556, owned by Mr. McGrath. I think I pronounced that right. McGrath and Mineral Mechanic, Inc. The property is not in foreclosure. It was first inspected June 15, 2021. During the inspection, it identified the violation of improper use of zone. The property is zoned AG for agriculture, not zoned to facilitate the operation of his business and staging of vehicle equipment and open storage. Over the course of follow-up inspection, the violation remained for improper use of zone. I have been in contact with the owner and conducted my last inspection on April the 11th, 2022.
And April 11th, sir, is that the same condition? Everything is still there?
Yeah, some of the items have, because he works during the daytime, I was limited to going on the property.
Sir.
So my last visit, he was not there, and I couldn't get on the property to see it without his presence.
Okay, and what is this is all zoned, it's open, or are there residential areas nearby, or what?
Yeah, that area itself is agriculture.
Okay. Okay, sir, go ahead.
I got a copy of the original report. It says here that there's accumulation of farm-type equipment. I'm not sure what else needs to be on a farm, but farm-type equipment. There was also a private property sign at the entrance to the property that he stated in his report, which he rolled on the property like he's helping me pay in the tax. And I don't appreciate him tailgating me in behind my electric gates to come in. And any of those pictures that are not taken from outside are inadmissible. I'm not sure why what I'm doing is an issue. It is a farm property. I have receipts here from every spring for plants I bought. Here's 350 Eastern cedar plants. Here's another receipt for 200 Eastern cedar plants. Here's another receipt for 1,000 plants. Here's another receipt for another 1,000 plants, all on the property, but there's no pictures of that. Here's another receipt for 250 plants on the property. Here's a forestry management plan dated 2019. I also forgot, I applied for a variance for 2 indoor nurseries on the property, but I didn't bring the paper with me. I can give you the number. It was approved. And also, oh, here's another thing. As for our open storage property, there's a $9,000 well on the property. I'm not sure what open storage has to do with a $9,000 well. I have receipts there for additional well pumps, 5 horsepower, $2,000, 90 gallons per minute. It's being used as a farm. And I also have my mess of papers, a copy of my business license for nursery.
Okay, so can you give those staff?
There seems to be a nutball lady that lives down the road, and I'm not sure why y'all entertain her.
Okay, and that's not, they're really not pertinent to the, thank you for your testimony. I do have a question for Mr. Faber. What exact equipment is not?
That one that's in the picture right there, what is that? What is that?
The majority of the property is swamp, and I need to retrieve these trees. So in order to cross it, I use that. I also use it for some personal use, but in order to get from one side to the other to pick up trees and plant trees, that's what I use.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, I have been in contact with him over numerous times, and he's, as far as trespassing, I entered the property to serve him paperwork for court and et cetera like that. But during my visit with him, probably 2 or 3 different times, Not one time have he shown or mentioned anything about his plants. So if he has plants planted there somewhere, I have no clue. There must be invisible because I haven't seen them. And that equipment itself, he used that offsite. So I never seen anything that shows that he used it on site. He had two of them there at one point, but now he's still storing it for one of them. And the other one, I don't know where he relocated that one to.
Okay, and my question, because I don't have the development in front of me, but if he does have trees and he does have the nursery, nursery, would that equipment then be allowed?
No, because that's not used for that. That there is some kind of excavation somewhere else that's not used for.
There's no attachments to that piece of equipment. It's a personnel carrier with a loading deck in the back. And if I wanted to have a helicopter to fly across my property to pick my plants, I can have one of those. There's no other way for me to get across the property.
Yes, sir.
The activity that this individual is expressing that he's doing of using this equipment to go through wetlands is an extreme violation of APC rules. And we'll make sure that we'll bring it to their attention if he's truly doing that. You cannot go use equipment to disrupt protected lands, Hillsborough County, to retrieve plants and trees that are in that protected land.
Okay.
I've had a wetland delineation done and I stay outside the setbacks, but it is mushy going to the other side. So I'm not driving in the wetlands itself.
Okay. All right. I'm finished with your testimony. One final question. What exact equipment, can we point out exactly which ones can't be for this zoning that he has right now and for his purposes are going to be, what can't he have there?
One of them would be, like I said, none of the equipment is there during the daytime. So he's using it for storage. The truck itself, the trailers that he have there. And like I said, I haven't seen one plant since I've been coming out there.
Okay. All right. Okay, and then one final point I did want to bring is the county has an obligation to ensure that properties is being utilized the way in the land development code. So that's not going to get into the issues of when those breaches happen. This is just a comment to you, but that has to take place. The county, there are rules regarding that. I'm ready to make a motion. I'm moving case number CE 21007136, that based on the evidence presented, find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court of Sanitation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by its history, I grant 14 days to come into compliance. 14 days. Compliance not achieved by a date, fine of $100 per day be assessed. That's my order. Next case.
Next case is on page 4, item 7, case number CE 21012090, Jason Lee McBride, and we have service. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give that will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say it again.
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Jason Lee McBride, 7332 Ponderosa Drive, Tampa, Florida, 33637.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Padilla.
Officer Ippolito Padilla, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was originated back in August 23rd, 2021. There's an extensive history on this property going back to '06. In each case, primary violations are vehicle-related issues. Today we have commercial vehicles. That's what's currently the issue today. There's currently fines running on this property for vehicles, in-ops. This property is not in foreclosure. We also have communications between issues between myself and the owner. And that's why we're here today, to try to remedy some of these vehicle issues. And these things are coming from the neighbors. They're primarily the ones who's making the complaints, getting a hold of us about his property.
Okay. Thank you, Officer Padilla. Mr. McBride, how long is it going to take to remove these vehicles?
Well, except for that one I bought for storage, there was a phone number that was on the side of it, which he doesn't remember, but he said that I couldn't have advertising on it. And I told him it was just a storage trailer, since we downgraded our home. So I scratched the phone number off, which you can kind of see that was on the bottom of it. The other trailer that was there, somebody had stole it and we got it back. So I don't know the time frame it had been there, but I did remove it yesterday. And I have pictures showing that I removed it, but that trailer, on the code, it said that I could have it if it was on a jack stand. So I originally had it on the trailer jack, and he said that I couldn't have that. So then I got a car jack, so it would technically be considered a jack stand. I put it on that. That's the one that got stolen. So I had it in storage, and then it got stolen from the storage. So I was trying to find another place to set it. But I do have pictures showing that it's been removed.
Okay, so right now everything is removed, correct?
Yes, the other trailer is still there, but like I said, that's just for storage.
Okay.
It doesn't ever move.
Mr. Padilla, is that other trailer allowed with?
Yeah, the other one is allowed, but he's got both of them there.
I have pictures to show you that I've removed.
Okay,
Have
okay,
verified
all right.
that, yeah.
Okay, so you said that it's removed so that way they could come by and inspect it. Is that
Yeah,
correct, sir?
Yeah, I never thought we had any communication issues. I thought we got along pretty well. One time he was there when somebody tried to run over my dog, and I yelled at the guy, but it had nothing to do with him personally.
All right, okay, and that's beyond the scope of this, but in case you understand what needs to not be there, it's a residential area. Okay, I'm ready to
Yes, sir. I
make a
didn't like
motion.
it there to begin with.
Okay, great. I rule in case number CE 2100-12090, that based on the evidence presented, find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's status presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, exiting the violation's history. I grant 7 days to come to compliance, and if compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. And again, you'll need to contact him. You need to schedule an inspection. If he comes out there in 7 days and it's gone, then this goes away. Okay. But then in the future, you understand why you can't have this stuff in a residential neighborhood.
Yes. I have one other question. He told me a couple of days ago that I had another violation about having a business in the house, and I never even got a notice about it. The only thing I got that said that if I'm running a business to stop, and I told him that the business license was just a mailing address, that it was actually invalid. It was expired. So I didn't.
Yeah, and that's beyond, again, the scope of this, but in any event, if you want to get his information, you need to contact him 7 days. If he doesn't get in contact with you after 7 days, run away, and he comes by and then the fine starts. Okay.
For clarification, he was cited for that, but that violation was removed.
Okay.
But he currently has fines running from something else related to vehicles, so he needs to take care of that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, all the vehicles have been tagged. I
Okay.
told you that a long time
All right.
ago.
7 days, $100 per day. Next case.
Did you want to see the license?
Page 4, item 8, case number CE 21013518, Henry Larson, and we have service.
Morning, sir.
Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Henry Joseph Larson, 15646 Apache Drive, Sonoma, Florida, 33592.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Again, I'm Officer Padilla, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The property in question is at 15640 Apache Drive in Tampa, Sassa, Florida, 33592. This AS1 property is not in foreclosure. Owned by Mr. Larson here. Again, extensive history on this property, going back to 2014. In each case cited primarily junk, trash, and debris, open storage. There's two court board orders that's been violated in reference to this property. One in 2019 and one as of 6/21/2018. Mr. Lyon has a history of complying to violation, but he goes right back and does the same thing. Currently, that's how the property was the last time I saw it with storage on it. I haven't been there since that date, so I don't know what it's like as of today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Officer. Mr. Larson?
Yes, first I'd like to apologize. I've been hit head on a motorcycle at 55 miles an hour in 2017. And I've had a physical and psychological defect. I've been trying to survive. The property, as of now, there's not a cigarette butt on that property. As of today, the hot tub has been removed. The front yard is absolutely not a cigarette butt there at all. And this picture that we're looking at now, the big picture, is taken from a private driveway. All that is gone now. I still need to pressure wash, but again, I've been so busy cleaning the outside, taking up cigarette butts and everything, that all of that picture of that photo right there is gone. The hot tub, the little tent, the trailer with junk on it has all been hauled away. It's just nothing. All you see there is just the other house and grass. That's all gone. There's a patio furniture set there. That's about it on the front. This is the rear. It was a laundry area. It's all gone except for the table and the washing machines. I do my laundry outside because the machines leak. That's my lawnmower. I'm trying to mow grass and make money to eat, survive. It's in the building now. That little umbrella is still there, but all the debris that's on the ground is gone. There's no trash at all on any of the property. That's gone as well. That's undercover, but it's gone as well.
Okay, so if the inspector would come out next week, he would find
That's
everything.
today, this afternoon, as a matter of fact, but yes, by next week is fine. I'll have it pressure washed by then.
Sir, he may be correct, it's compliant, but he's listed as a repeat violator. And based on his history, and if you go back and research each one of those cases, he does the same thing. He'll comply today, and tomorrow it'll be the same way. So that's what I'm trying to prevent, and prevent the neighbors from keep calling me in reference to his property.
And you understand what we feel sorry for what happened to you, but obviously this is in a residential neighborhood. It's got to be, this really has to be.
I understand. There's a disgruntled neighbor that.
Well, and that, again, that's beyond the scope of this. That's completely irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that there's issues there against the.
There's got to be a limitation to how many complaints a neighbor can call.
And again, that's not part, stand on
Okay. All right. I understand.
All right, I'm ready to make my ruling. I'm moving case CE 2100135518. The based on the evidence presented to find the property is again in violation of Hillsborough County Code's staff presentation and of the previous order dated 4/20 of 2018. This constitutes a repeat violation as defined in Florida statutes. Further, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. 7 days, $100 per day. Additionally, a fine of $50 per day per occurrence be imposed for any repeat violations after compliance is achieved. So, sir, you have 7 days. If he comes out and everything is cleared up to satisfaction, this goes away. If it does not, the fine starts out at $100 per day. And additionally, if he comes back a few months, years from now,
I just wanted to make a correction. The previous board order was dated June 21st, 2018.
June 21st, 2018. And if you can correct it on the, additionally though, if he comes back again, 30 days, 69 days, a year from now, 2 years from now, then that $50 per day per occurrence will kick in immediately.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you need to get that information from him so we can come out, inspect it, and we can close this, and then just keep it the same.
Okay, I just have one question. My garage area is full of some other articles of lawnmowers and so forth. If I take them out to clean my garage out and she calls, is this going to be another violation? Because I don't want to have violations, but are you allowed to clean your garage out?
Clean garage, just don't leave it all over the yard. Keep it there.
Okay,
All right, sir.
thank you.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir, can you turn on your mic?
If he gets another violation or somebody calls, is that per occurrence in reference to him for each violation?
Yes, sir. $50 per occurrence per day.
Okay.
All right. Next case, please. Thank you.
Next case is on page 5, item 9, case number CE 21003083, Victor Pinado, and we have service. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Victor Peinado, and my address is, or the property address is 11001 Riverview Drive in Riverview.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Officer Parker.
And on the right.
Good morning, Officer Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This property received an anonymous complaint at 11001 Riverview Drive for commercial vehicles in a residential area. I met with the property owner and he stated that the property is currently being rented out to a tenant, but there are multiple vehicles from his business that are parked there. He stated that if we don't allow him to park there, it will kill his business. The property was cited for improper use of zone for multiple commercial vehicles being parked on the property. My last visit was on March 29th of 2022, and it remained unchanged.
And this is in a residential area, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Fernando.
Okay. I do own a business, an air conditioning business, and I bought this property with enough land, thinking that I could park my 2 trailers and 2 trucks there. Okay. I don't understand. First, they go over there and they cite me for, it was a completely different house, completely different complaints. They tell me that I removed grass in the back and put some synthetic substance there. They say that I filled something without permits. His supervisor went over there with pictures and he's like, what's going on here? He was really upset. He called Mr. Parker. This is not even the house that we're talking about. So after I've been very forthcoming with them and very polite, I take them back there. I tell them this is where I park my truck and my 2 cars. Eventually, I would like to build a house back here and divide this lot. And just honest with them and tell them what I'm doing. So the supervisor tells me, hey, okay, you know what? This is not your house. All this is going away. I don't know why he did this, whatever. And then he said, but I got to cite you for something. What do you mean? I have to cite you for something. So you got commercial vehicle there. You don't live in this house. You cannot park them over here. I talked to my neighbor. My neighbor told me that her complaint was because I was filling out the back. I removed a huge bamboo plant in the back and I got dirt to fill it in just to cover those holes. They were complaining about me removing vegetation. That's why when I spoke with her, she apologized. She said it was somebody else, one family member of her that called. I haven't had any complaint from this neighbor. As far as my vehicles there, she has never complained about any of that, but I was cited for having this car there. I don't know what the difference is if there's a tenant there or if I live in the house, because they told me if you live here, Yes, you can park your trailer and your car back there. I am not running a business from that property.
Okay,
That's not what was said.
right, and that's beyond the scope of this hearing, but the fact of the matter is that that equipment cannot be there. It doesn't matter whether it's the owner that is responsible, whether tenants there or not, it is completely immaterial. So that, how long will it take for that to be removed from that property?
What can I do? Can I get a variance? Can I get a special use? I need help here. I need to find a solution. This is very expensive to pay storage. This is over $500 a month to put 2 trailers and 2 vehicles in a storage. It's very, very costly.
The case was started over a year ago. He had time to try to get those things during the time waiting for it to be, well, it was referred. Yeah, it's his choice whether he applies for a variance or not. But he didn't do that in the time waiting until this hearing.
Because it's very costly, it's very expensive.
And I understand it, but I mean, the case before us is there's improper use of zoning, there's equipment that's in the backyard that can't be there. So how much time do you need to remove that equipment?
Enough time to apply for a variance or enough time to apply for a changes,
And you said something else over a year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. All right, I'm ready to make a ruling. I'm moving case CE 2100383 improper use of zoning. That based on the evidence presented, find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Status presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the extent of violation history, I grant 15 days to come to compliance, and if compliance not achieved by a date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. 15 days, $100 per day. Within that 15 days, you need to contact this gentleman. He's come out and inspect it and close the case. Otherwise, the fines will start. Thank you. Next case.
Next case is on page 8, item 18, case number CE 21008695, Michael Serrano and Laurie D. LaLaurie. And we have service, and someone is here virtually for this?
Yes.
Mr.
Could you repeat the
Serrano,
case,
where
please?
is he? Page
Can you
8,
see me?
18. Yes, sir. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Michael Serrano. My address is 1814 Rebecca Road. The property address is 6031 Crestridge Road.
And do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Jose Reyes, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I inspected the property located at 6031 Crestridge Road on June 21st, 2021, at which time the property was tenant occupied, not in foreclosure. The following violations were noted: accumulations for junk, trash, and debris, including some old furniture and items of that in the rear yard, and an inoperable vehicle, which was removed on 6/28/21. As of this hearing, the tenant is stated that he's moving out. He was upset that I was there taking pictures. There's some minor debris still there that needs to be removed, and hopefully, if the tenant is actually leaving, that can be taken care of.
Mr. Serrano, do you have anything to add?
The tenant is supposedly moving out this weekend. I was just informed of these violations back in February. I've been trying to get him to clean it up. He hasn't been doing as good as he should have. And I can't go there and clean it up myself because it's his debris, not mine. And to me, it's all junk. To him, he could say it's not, but it will be completely cleared out. As soon as he gets out, I will get a dump trailer, and I'm going to do remodeling anyway. So I just need it there for a little while to get all that debris in there and all the future debris coming out of the house.
Can you say when he's moving out, what date is he scheduled to vacate that property?
He's as of this weekend. So the 16th, 17th, 18th, somewhere in there. He said he might have to come back Monday. to get some more stuff, but he's supposed to be out of there by Monday, the latest.
Okay, Mr. Reyes, neighbors have complained about this.
Yes, it was a neighbor complaint.
Okay, how much time do you think?
Well, as soon as he officially is gone, if he could get it done in 10 days, give him, if he needs more time, I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
But
Can I get 30 days would be nice. Just construction is not going as fast with supplies being limited to getting.
Right, and again, that's not purview to this case. I'm ready to make a motion. I'm moving case CE 21008695, that based on the evidence presented, find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Justice presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by its history. I grant 15 days to come to compliance, and if compliance not achieved by a date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. So within 15 days, sir, you need to talk to Mr. Reyes, have him come out, take a look, close this case. This case goes away. If it doesn't, then the fine, $100 per day, commences immediately. 15 days, $100 per day.
That's 15 calendar days. Correct?
15 days, yes, 15 days. Next case.
Thank you.
All right.
Next case is on page 9, item 19, case number CE 21004748, Gilbert Torres Jr. and Norma L. Torres. And we have service, and someone is here virtually.
Yes.
Ms. Torres, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Norma Torres, and the address is 201 Clemens Road, Brandon, Florida, 33510.
And do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Harwell.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated April 8th of 2021. It's owner occupied, not in foreclosure, and there's no life safety issues. The violations that remain are accumulations, overgrowth, and outside open storage. There's been significant improvement over the course of this case with this property. There's just a few things remaining. As you can see, the overgrowth behind there. And I spoke to the property owner, or the female property owner, several times about this. And then the outside open storage is that large shop fan. And when you go back, you had those trash cans, and then there's some tree limbs and stuff behind it. There's another photo. But this property had tree limbs everywhere. There was a crushed car with a tree on it. They've done a great job cleaning this up, but just a few things left.
Okay.
We've since then we've gone ahead and removed all of the cans that are there and anything that was outside. We've mowed down the area there that has the tree stuff. So all of that has been complied with. We just have to do a little bit around the yard still, and for the most part, we are in compliance already. The fan has been been removed, and all of the tools that were by the house as well.
Okay, Ms. Torres, so 15 days, do you think it could be all taken care of, complete?
Yes, it would be fine.
Okay. And I'm doing this because of your response to him and what's happened with this motion. I rule in case CE 21004748 that based on the input, find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Justice presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, action, and violence history. I grant 15 days to come to compliance. If compliance not achieved by a date, a fine of $50 per day. 15 days, $50, and again, based on your testimony and the fact that the property is almost cleaned up. So within that time frame, you need to get a hold of Mr. Harwell, have him come out, inspect it. This case goes away. If that does not happen, the fines will start. Okay? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Next case.
Page 9, item 20, case number CE 21006165, Laurie A. Anderson, and we have service. And someone is here virtually? I can't hear you.
Ma'am, can you unmute yourself?
Would there be a way, maybe can you hear us? Can you, would you mind, while you work on this, we work on a few more cases, we'll call you back. Is that okay with you, Ms. Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Is that, so stay, try to fix it, and then we'll come back to you. I want you to be able to speak to us. So, yeah, we're not going to touch it until you just try to work on it, okay? Maybe reboot the computer. I'm not an expert. They're the experts over there, but try to get it so we can hear you, okay? Okay, great. Next case.
Next case is on page 10, item 21, case number CE 22002989, Shabeem Gupta and Erica Davis. And we have service and we have some people appearing virtually as well. So I need to see Stephen Bros, Rick Ivy, Matthew Knight. Can y'all raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep. I do.
Okay, Stephen Bros, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Stephen Floyd Bross, and I live at 901 Balsamina Drive, Brandon, Florida 33510.
Rick Ivy, please.
My name is Rick Ivy. I live at 1211 Belladonna Drive, Brandon, Florida 33510.
Matthew Knight.
This is Matthew Knight. I live at 902 Balsamina Drive, Brandon, Florida 33510.
Do you recognize the photo in that as the property?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir Harwell.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated March 11th. The property is tenant occupied. It's not in foreclosure and there's no life safety issues. This is the second case for this property. The violation's improper use of zone. And what they're doing is they're renting this thing for less than 6 nights. The previous case, CE 2101074, was adjudicated on February 23rd. It was a $1,000 fine per day with a 3-day recheck. Initially, on the previous case, as well as this, when I found the property on the Airbnb website and the VBR website, when I went back to do the recheck on the previous case, I couldn't find it right on that website, so I complied the violations. When this case originated, the first thing I did is I went to the Airbnb website and VRBO website, couldn't find it again. But then I did a Google search for short-term rentals in Brandon, and I was able to find it and go to TripAdvisor. And if you look at slide 6, I was able to reserve the property for 2 days, April 26th through the 28th. Slide 7, on my second visit, I was able to reserve the property from May 10th to May 13th on slide 7. And then slide 8, this week, I was able to reserve the property from June 27th to June 29th. And then slide 9 is a continuation of that reservation. I have issued 2 combo notices, one for the first hearing, and I told her how to attend. She didn't attend. Within an hour of the hearing ending, she called me because the HOA posted the results on their website, so she was well aware. And this second time, I had to make 2 or 3 trips to catch her with a combo notice. But once again, I explained the hearing and the process, and I thought she would be here. So, okay.
And she's not here virtually or otherwise?
Doesn't appear. It's like one of my complainants.
Okay, so we don't have, but we do have other individuals that want to speak. We just go right down the list.
And she did sign in. She's just not here. Okay, so she signed up to speak, but she did not.
Okay.
She did not sign into the WebEx.
Okay, thank you. So the 3 individuals that want to speak regarding this property, can we just start with them?
Go ahead, Rick.
Sorry.
Okay, this has been going on for quite a while. Last year, we actually got 85% of the neighborhood to prohibit short-term rentals less than 6 months, which is our HOA. Every time I've notified them about all these issues, I continually notify them about the Hillsborough County Code as well. So all my contact with them, all my emails, all my texts, all my phone calls, I've been reminding them over and over. Her husband is, I believe, works in IT. So I don't know why they have problems getting on the meeting, or if they have any problems not knowing that this was doing this, I'm sure they knew because they have been renting it out for short term. There's been, just this last weekend, there was a group of guys over, I don't remember, probably about 10 of them, yelling and screaming out back. They sounded like they were fighting, or I don't know what they were doing, but it's just continual, on and on and on. It's been going on for a long time. There's trash and parking issues. I've been threatened. My wife has been threatened. Matt here has been actually assaulted and pushed by one of the tenants. So.
Okay, I hear you. Next individual.
I'm Stephen Bross. I'm just backing up Rick Ivy. We're on the homeowners association. The straw that broke camel's back is one night. It was a Monday night about midnight. Matt came across the street, said we got a problem out here. There were 28 cars I could have identified that did not belong in our neighborhood, lining the two streets. There were 12 more outside the subdivision along Telfair. There were 4 in the driveway. So we're not, and one in the garage. So we're talking about 45 cars worth of people in this house. When we called the police, they showed up. When the front door opened across the street, I could smell the marijuana coming out, and the smoke alarms inside the house were going off.
Okay.
And then that Friday, we had the same situation happen all over again.
Okay.
So it's an ongoing issue.
I got the picture. Thank you, sir. The other gentleman.
I mean, it's pretty much what they've said. I mean, I'm sure you understand the issue that
I understand. Stand by. Let me just.
And obviously, they have no blatant regard of anything because obviously they haven't shown up for the last 2 meetings and they don't care to. And they have it rented out right now. They showed up last night.
I'm ready to make a motion. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time virtually. I'm moving case CE 22002989 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation. It's again in violation of Hillsborough County Court's status presentation and of the previous order dated 2/23/2022. This constitutes a repeat violation as defined in Florida statutes. Further, I grant 3 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by a date, a fine of $2,000 per day be assessed. 3 days, $2,000. Additionally, a fine of $1,000 per day per occurrence be imposed for any repeat violations after compliance is achieved. So initially 3 days, $2,000 fine, and for the repeat, $1,000 per day. So ordered. Next case.
I believe we were able to get Laurie Anderson on.
I just have one question. I don't want to step in, but is there a way, do we have a tech individual that can talk to them so we can get them on or no?
Yes, I believe we talked to Laurie
Yeah,
Anderson. We're going to unmute you real quick. Can you hear us?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Excellent. Yes, we
Yes.
can. Stand by and we'll.
Page 9, item 20, case number CE 21006165, Laurie A. Anderson, and we have service. And Ms. Anderson and the gentleman beside you, please raise your right hand. You're going to be speaking. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Laurie Anderson. My last name is Williamson now. My address is 1008 Western Avenue, Brandon 33510.
And my name is Christopher Williamson.
Your address, please.
1008 Western Avenue, Brandon, Florida 33510.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Harwell, go ahead.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated May 5th of last year. It is owner occupied. It's not in foreclosure. There's no life safety issues. The violations are accumulations, in-op vehicle, outside open storage, and roofs and parts thereof. The property's condition has improved over the course of this case. As you can see there, you got stuff. And I just met with the gentleman is the husband of the property owner, so I've been dealing with him. So I was just out there this week. I explained the little things that need to be tightened up. You can see the photos were on the 12th, dated the 12th, and I explained what needed to be done, and he seemed receptive of it. The vehicle, if you go, we'll go down to the pictures, is a green 1955 Jeep. Initially, there was 2 in-ops on the property. The green, that's the best picture I have of the Jeep. Since then, the truck's been removed and there's been a tarp on the Jeep. So in the next photos, but when I was there on the 12th, you can see no plate. When I was there on the 12th, the property owner's husband produced a antique plate, has a 2019 decal on it, but he has insurance on that vehicle as well. So he was going to get it registered this week or try.
Okay, and as far as the roof, is it life safety issue with the roof or?
No, sir.
Okay.
He's had some issues with his roof. He just had it repaired. It's taken some time. As you can see that he put that up and it's hanging temporarily. We discussed that. He's got to tighten that up.
Okay. All right.
And then the next photos you can see.
Yeah, we reported a homeowner's insurance claim for our roof back in 2019 with Dynasty Builders, and it's taken up until February of this year to actually get to come to an agreement with our insurance company. So the roof has been completely replaced. And like I told Officer Harwell when he was out here months ago, we had interior damage. That's a lot of the reason why I had a lot of stuff out. But anyhow, it's all been taken care of. Everything, the last 4 issues that he had with us on Tuesday, we were in the process of doing it. They're all taken care of. I told him I had an appointment on Thursday to get a tag to get the new decal. I don't know if you can see it, but the vehicle is not inoperable. It's just ugly. But it is licensed and legal or registered and legal. So everything that he's asked us to do has been taken care of. We normally don't have a situation like this. We couldn't do anything because of our roof. But once it was done, we got everything into compliance.
Okay, so the roof is, you're saying the roof is done, correct? Everything?
Yes,
everything's done on this? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to make a motion. And based on your response to him and his itemization of the case, I'm moving case number CE 21006165. The based on the evidence find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, of its history, I grant 15 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by date of fine of $50 per day. 15 days, $50 per day. So what that means to you, if you can call this gentleman, have him come out, take a look at it. This case goes away after 15 days. The fines start. So get a hold of him. I think he's giving you his contact information, schedule time, so this can go away.
Again, can I say one other thing real quick to Officer Harwell? Disregard the voicemail I left him. I was a little panicked because we weren't able to get through. I was trying to get in touch with him.
He's a pretty good guy. He'll
yeah, I like him.
Next case.
So okay, I'll give him a call and to have him come out. But we're all good. Thank you.
That takes care of everyone in the audience. So there's a little thing you got to read about people not.
I like you. You're my right-hand person. You haven't hit me yet.
It's the statement when nobody's here.
All right, and thanks for your patience. Obviously, there's issues here with legality to make this the proper wordings used, so that's what we were just making sure. Seeing that no one is present in the audience for the remaining cases on the agenda, I will now review the case material previously provided by county staff. And if I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Staff's presentation, my ruling in each case will be based on the evidence presented, on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history in determining the amount of the fine that will be assessed. First case.
Page 1 of your agenda, item 1, case number CE 21005646, Home Foreclosure Defense LLC. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Sadler.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, sir.
I'm Code Enforcement Officer Lee Mcbride with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is a vacant lot located at 7011 Sandhurst Drive, Florida, and is owned by Home Foreclosure Defense LLC. This property is not in foreclosure. The property was first inspected on April 28, 2021, and was cited for 2 violations, which were, well, I'll get to the next one. As of my last inspection on April 1st, the only violation that remained was inoperable vehicles. I've had no contact with the owners. Yesterday, I went to the agent's home. I was informed by the agent father that the agent had passed away. So at this present time, I have no one to speak to, and apparently people are just using this vacant lot as a storage facility, which they're not allowed to.
Okay. That's in a residential neighborhood. I see.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I rule in case CE 21005646, that based on the information that find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Codes and Staff's presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, acting of the violator's history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. If compliance not achieved by a date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. 7 days, $100 per day, based on where this area is, with residential neighborhood.
All right. Thank you.
Next case.
Page 3, item 5, case number CE 21003664, Horn 6 LLC, number 3197. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Gutierrez.
Good morning, Mona Gutierrez, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was initiated in March of 2021. It is not in foreclosure. It is a RSC 6 zoning. The violations are accumulations, overgrowth, and recreational vehicles exceeding the allowable number. This lot here has 4, 5, maybe even 6. You could barely see in it. RVs and trailers. It's filled with accumulations. I've never spoken to the owner, which is an LLC. I've never spoken to the tenant. You can barely tell where the tenant is living in this lot. You can't even see their front door. And it's been like this since March.
And they've gotten notice of the hearings and so forth? Okay. I rule in case CE 21003664, that based on the representative that find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Staff's presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation and the action taken on the violator's history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. If a compliance not achieved by a date, a fine of $500 per day be assessed. 7 days, $500 because of those issues, what you just showed me. Thank you. Next case.
Item 6, case number CE 21004485. This case complied as of April 7, 2022. Page 5, item 10, case number CE 21004223, Sean Murray and Connie Murray. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Parker.
Good morning, Officer Parker from Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This property at 1108 Elliott Street received an anonymous complaint for a tarp roof. Upon arrival, There were observed multiple tarps on the roof and outside open storage in the carport with junk, trash, and debris and other appliances. My last inspection was April 4th, 2022, and there was no change to the property. And I never made contact with any of the owners. There have been numerous complaints and duplicate complaints on this property as well since this case started.
Okay, I'm moving case CE 21004223. That based on the independent, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Coroner's status presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by this history, it's going to be a two-part motion for the item number C203, outside open storage, 7 days, $100 per day. And for the roof, R11-7-4, roofs and parts thereof, based on the conditions trying to get a roofer. 180 days, $50 per day. So two parts. First one for the outside open storage, 7 days, $100 per day. The roof and portions thereof, 180 days, $50 per day. Next case.
Page 6, item 11, case number CE 21007511. This case is pulled for lack of service. Item 12, case number CE 21014670. Patrick Belson. This is an emergency case that was brought on by code enforcement. Life safety issues. No one is present.
Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, originated May of 2021.
Start over with your name.
Oh, sorry. Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Officer Roy Livingston. I inspected the property located at 5132 Puritan Road, originally on 11/16/2021. At that time for RVs, and then later on a subsequent visit, December 10th, 2021. The house had burned down as of May 2021, so it was written up at that time for general standards for dwellings. Over time, the owner has been on and off the property. The last inspection was April 14th, 2022. Property remains out of compliance. This is an ongoing issue. The original case was generated May of 21. And at that time, the house itself that had burned down had not been written up. So we waited for that case to run out of time. And here we are today. The owner tried to do a lot of this demo himself. And there's a swimming pool in the back with no fencing, a built-in pool. And right now, General Manager Carmine Paisano is working a condemnation case. This property is in bad shape. And we're getting regular calls from the neighbors, a lot of whom are elderly. And the owner is, like I said, he's in and out. He has substance abuse issues and so forth. So,
okay. Is the attorney on the call, the county attorney?
Good morning. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. Good afternoon. I was going to ask just to clarify about the notice. I didn't hear, maybe I missed it, how the owner was noticed.
So I've been dealing with the owner probably since May of last year. He was served on other cases. He's aware of all the issues. He's aware of the condemnation case. I would say the last 3-4 weeks, he's been nowhere to be seen. So there have been some people on and off the property. There was an RV recently that we just got, had the people remove it. That would have been part of the case today, but it's been complied, that portion. And they haven't seen the individuals. So he's well aware of the situation. Again, he tried to do a lot of the demolition himself, and he's just overwhelmed.
Okay, and for the attorney, I have an answer
Okay.
to a
Yeah,
question.
so
Ms. Murphy,
I
this is
did
Carmen.
have oh, hi, Carmen. I just wanted to know if he was noticed for today's hearing. Maybe you posted the property, I'm not certain, but he at least should be noticed for today's hearing, or should have been.
We had made every effort to come in contact with them, and I finally got a hold of Maria Gonzalez. Yesterday, I believe it was. I had it in my notes, but it didn't print up by phone. And Mr. Patrick Belson was with her. Her statement to me, if the corporate accepts it, is that they had been out of town, and that I explained the situations that was going to be presented today to the code board. They had agreed to the county's demolition process of the county taking over. And and I explained to her also the issues that are going to be presented about having people moving with campers on the property, and that no one was to be on the property because of the safety issues and the ability to do construction without any interference. And they were no objection to what we were going to present.
I understand that. Sonia, I guess because of the short notice, I assume that there was no certified mailing sent. Was the property at least posted, or
The property had not been posted recently. I have served, posted previous case. And then this case, he received the notice of violation. One of the issues is he lists his property as his home address. There's no mail being picked up by anybody. And obviously the house is gone. But no, I have not physically posted a notice on the property itself, but I do believe the condemnation posting occurred by one of the other officers. I don't know if Carmine can speak to that, but
I don't think Mr. Livingston is grasping, but I fully understand your question, Ms. Murphy. The notice of this hearing was attempted. It was not properly executed by the means of a handling of or posting of a physical notice in the hands of the property owner. The only effort that we were able to accomplish was to engage with them on a phone conversation.
Okay, well, I don't believe that meets the under the statute. I think you could post at the property site, or I don't know what other means, because it was so short notice. I don't know if Sonia would have had time to do a certified mailing. Sonia, I would ask, did you mail notice or attempt to mail notice?
No, we did not.
Okay, so I don't believe that we have the proper notice. I think we probably could have just posted, and that maybe would have been sufficient, but it doesn't sound like we even attempted to post it.
I accept that, Ms. Murphy, and thank you. What we'll do is we'll pull this and we'll get posting and get proper notice for the hearing next week.
Before the attorney goes, just one question. I know you mentioned swimming pool. Is that a full swimming pool? That means people could get out. Is there a legal way that the county can enter the property for that life safety issue, or not, because there was no notice given?
Well, I'm not certain if they, Carmine, can you?
Yes,
is the pool exposed? I mean, could you put like a little plastic barrier around the pool?
We can do that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ms. Murphy.
that's okay.
We
That's
can
fine.
definitely do that. We can go in and set up a temporary barrier on there based on the life safety issues. And we'll take care of that. Okay.
Okay, so maybe we can continue till next hearing, and Sonia, I guess maybe you can send out the mail, certified mail. That may be
We
an
can do
option.
that, but I think we could certainly post as well.
Yes, post certify, either or, both is always best, if
Yes.
possible. Your choice. Okay.
And since the attorney's still on the phone, does he need any sort of a ruling from this body to go on the property and take care of the pool, or can he do that under the statute?
I think under the statute.
Okay.
Because it sounds like the property is not even occupied. It's just a big pile of rubble from what I saw.
Right, they also pulled it, so
Okay.
we're good.
Okay. Next case.
Next case is on page 7, item 13, case number CE 21009047, Cynthia Boschma. We have service and no one is present. Number 13. Cynthia.
Case number, please.
CE 21009047.
Thank you. Good morning, Jose Pereira, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I inspected a property located at 109 West Wowell Street, Tampa, Florida on March 28, 2012. It is owner occupied. I made contact with the owner regarding the violations that I cited for, roof, parts and thereof, and the overhang extension. She indicated to me that during the pandemic, the general contractor was having a hard time submitting and getting a permit. But that was since July 1st, 2021. I made another contact with him, the husband, Mr. Bushmarsh, on November 12th, 2021. He once again indicated that he's submitting for the permit. I checked for any permits on March 28th, and to this day, nothing was issued. And here we are.
No further contact with the owner. No timeline. And it's in a residential neighborhood, of course.
Yes, sir.
I rule in case CE 21009047 that based on the evidence presented, find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation and actually advised history. It's going to be a two-part motion. I grant 15 days to come to compliance with item number R117-6, overhang extensions, 15 days, $100 per day be assessed. And for item 1174, roofs and parts thereof, I grant in base, because it's hard to get a roof for now, 180 days, $500 per day. Next case.
Thank you, sir.
Next case is item 14, case number CE 210157, Hillary M. Winesek. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, Jose Pereira, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I inspected a property located at 14904 West Hardy Drive, Tampa, Florida, 33613 on March 31st, 2022. This is actually my fourth case on this property. The three prior cases are CE 1900-8810, CE 2000-6246, CE 2000-0148 for the same violations: inoperable vehicle, commercial trailers, and overgrowth. On July 27th, 2021, I complied inoperable vehicle, but I am requesting a remaining compliance order. Also, the commercial vehicles and trailers as well on July 27, 2021, and also Overgrowth on August 2nd, 2021.
That's not on the agenda. Just the in-op and commercial.
My apologies. So I am requesting a remaining compliance order on inoperable vehicles and commercial vehicle. I have made numerous contact with the owner of the property. The owner's son is, he owns a used car dealership in the city of Tampa. He's using this property like a staging area. Constantly getting complaints about this property. And here we are.
Okay. I rule in case CE 21010057 that based on the information find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Success present. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with this code provision in order that it remain in compliance with these two code provisions. Next case.
Thank you, sir.
Item 15, case number CE 22002156. This case complied on April 13th. Page 8, item 16, case number CE 21007764. Magda Bervede and Francisco Ramirez. We have service and no one is present.
Morning, Jose Reyes, Hillsborough County Code Officer. I inspected the property at 8015 Jackson Springs Road on June 13, 2021, which time of the inspection it was owner occupied, not in foreclosure, and the following violation was noted: inoperable vehicles for an untagged boat trailer, which complied on 9/20/21. I'm requesting a ruling for remaining compliance based on previous inoperable vehicle violations.
Okay, I rule in case CE 21007764 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Success presented. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with this code provision or that remain in compliance with this code provision. Next case.
Thank you.
Item 17, case number CE 21007766. Miguel R. Rivera. We have service and no one is present.
Jose Reyes, Hillsborough County Code Officer. I inspected the property at 7905 Jackson Spring Road on June 3rd, 2021. At the time, it was owner occupied, not in foreclosure. The following violations were noted: accumulations and commercial vehicles. The accumulations was complied on June 10th, 2021, as well as the commercial vehicle on 6/10/2021. I am requesting a ruling for remaining compliance for previous violations of both accumulations and commercial vehicles.
I rule in case CE 21007766 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Success presented. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with this code provision or that remain in compliance with this code provision. Next case.
Thank you.
Page 10, item 22, case number CE 21004222. This case complied as of April 11th. Item 23, case number CE 21005133. Debbie Whitaker. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, Dave Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is 4120 Silver Lane, Valrico, Florida, 33594. Property is zoned RSC 6. It is not in foreclosure. Case was opened April 16th, 2021. The violation is accumulations.
I rule in case CE 21005133 that based on the information that find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Success presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, actually of its history, I grant 7 days of compliance and compliance not achieved by date of fine of $500 per day be assessed due to what you just showed me. 7 days, $500 per day. Next case.
Page 11, item 24, case number CE 21006601, TAH 2015-1 Borrower LLC. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Dave Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is 918 Valmar Street, Brandon, Florida, 33511. Property is zoned RSC 6. It is not in foreclosure. First inspection was May 13th, 2021. violation is a nuisance condition. I was able,
tree.
yeah, there was, so there's a tree on the property in question. It is dead. It is leaning towards the property, for the complainant. Should be another picture showing it up against the fence.
Yeah, and it could, okay. A ruling case CE 21006601, that based on the information find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court of Staff's presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation act and the advised history. And this is because of life safety. I grant 7 days to come to compliance. Compliance not achieved by a date, a fine of $300 per day to be assessed. 7 days, $300 per day, based on that life safety issue. Next case.
Item 25, case number CE 21007429, Ramon Acosta and Miriam Perez. We have service and no one is present.
Mr. Spriggs.
Morning, Edward Spriggs, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question, 10110 Chimney Hill Court. It's not foreclosure and it is owner occupied. This dwelling here is quite simply, there is commercial vehicles have been here for quite some time over the course of the year. The first time I was there was 27th of May last year. The vehicles have since been, there's the company, the vehicles have since been sold, according to the owner of the company. The mother who owns the house tells me the vehicles are not coming back. However, the son still lives in the house, and the LLC clearly states that the property is where he has the mail sent. The property has been complied with commercial vehicles. However, I'm asking for a RIC so the son does not bring any more vehicles home at all.
Okay. A ruling case CE 21007429, that based on the information find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Staff's presented. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with this code provision in order that it remain in compliance with this code provision. Next case.
Item 26, case number CE 21007517. This case was closed for staff on April 11th. Page 12, item 27, case number CE 21007997, Darlene Lestina. We have service and no one is present.
Edward Spriggs, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is 8839 West Robson Street. It is owner occupied, no life safety issues. It is dealing with in-op vehicles, of which as of yesterday, yesterday afternoon has been complied. However, the owner in my conversation just told me she moved it away. She did not get it registered or done. I'm asking for a RIC to be placed. She is fully aware of the fact that the vehicle cannot come back to the house unless it has a proper tag and insurance on it.
What day did it comply?
Yesterday afternoon.
So is there a previous case of this, or is this the first case?
This is the first case on this, sir. But the concern is the fact that they just pushed it away, and that once it's been complied, as it has been yesterday, it will come back.
Right, but since it's not there, I can't issue that. But if
It doesn't have to be a repeat violator.
Right.
This will create it to be a repeat violator if you have the order in place, if they do it again. That's
right,
what
okay.
that does.
But it is out there right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'm not going to issue that. I think the matter's closed.
So you're just missing.
Dismiss this case because both items are closed and there's no history of this.
Next case is item 28, case number CE 21008611, Christopher Vitek and Lisa A. Vitek. We have service and no one is present.
Edward Spriggs, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Wrong. Property in question is 11729 Spanish Lake Drive, 33615. The owner is Lisa Vitek. It is owner occupied. First inspected, The first inspected of June 18 of last year. It came to Hillsborough County via anonymous complaining. Since then, there was 10 inspections. I spoke to the owner personally, 7/21/21. of which at that time she informed me that she would get the work done. You see by the pictures, the grass is tall in this picture. However, back last year, the grass was halfway up that rear fence. In fact, I could not identify the accumulations due to the height of the grass. She had it mowed, but since then it's been growing up again. She initially had inoperable vehicles in the front, which had been removed. However, once the grass had been mowed, I then noticed you could see trailers in the back.
Okay.
The fencing is the fencing in the rear that you see there is the accumulation. However, the front fence on the left and right hand side is falling down. This is what remains of the rear fence. It was in dilapidating state before. That is the front right the picture previous was the front right of the house. It is falling forward again. She is fully aware of what's going on. Yet here we are.
And so this is in a residential neighborhood, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And all these violations are still present?
Yes, sir.
Great. All right. I move in case CE 21008611 that based on the information identifying the properties in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Staff's presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, accident violation history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $300 per day be assessed. 7 days, $300 due to what's there in a residential neighborhood.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next case.
That concludes the agenda. You have the minutes to approve.
Yes, I approve both sets of minutes. The August 13th, 2021 and the December 15th, 2021 approved.
Okay. We're done. You can adjourn.
I adjourn.